This is a brand new car for the 2024 British GT season. And just up there is a McLaren 720S GT3 car. Today on Car Traction we're here at Oulton Park for one of the most active weekends I've ever seen. We've got cars going. That GB4 just got sideways there. So many cars just moving around in the paddock. It's amazing to see this paddock. This weekend is one of the biggest weekends at Oulton Park. It is the British GT. At the moment we've got some of the GB3 cars. We just look at those over there. But of course we've got these spectacular cars such as this. This is a GT3 spec Audi R8 V10, the newest generation, 5.2 litre V10 mid-engines, and this is just incredible. This is the sort of thing we get at the British GT. We've got GT4 spec cars, Ginettas, hopefully if you're Aston Martins, Mercedes GT3s, alongside all of the GB3 cars, and a lot of tyres on the back of a go-kart. There really is so much going on this weekend, so let's see what gems we can find in the paddock, and then I think we'll go and have a look around the track to see what's going on. But these are just spectacular, aren't they? Hoovering out all the gravel. Looks like this Ginetta's had a bit of an unplanned trip. Very dirty front split on this one as well. So much going on in the paddock today. These are some of the single seaters. These are GB3s and GB4 race cars. These will be racing alongside the British GT cars. So much going on here. Bit of wheel spin from that one. There's so much going on here at the paddock at Oulton Park at the British GT weekend. All the cars are lining up in the assembly area to be sound tested to make sure they're not too loud. So much going on. The British GT event here at Oulton Park Circuit is one of the biggest events. We've got a BMW M4 GT4 car in here, or a pairing of GT4 spec BMW M4s. As I said, we will be having GT3, which is the slightly faster spec of car, and then we've got the GT4s. These are both BMW M4s, the latest generation. And just up there is a McLaren 720S GT3 car at the top of its trailer. That's quite a sight, isn't it? A bright yellow GT3 McLaren 720S. Right, let's see what else we can find at this super active paddock. Oh, we've got some very cool looking GT3 cars over there. We've got the Greystone GT truck here, and it's got the Mercedes AMG GT3 car there. Those have a huge V8 up front in those. Huge rear wing as well. What an incredible setup this is. It really is a treat to see all the goings on behind, all the racing that goes on. The GT3 and GT4 classes got some carpet being laid down. Today is one of the test days in preparation, so not all the cars are out yet. It's just great to see all the preparation. Got a GT4 AMG Mercedes, a slightly slower variant to the one we just saw before. And just upstairs, a McLaren 720S GT3. It's crazy seeing these £1 million race cars just stacked like that. This is also a McLaren 720S GT3. Incredible rear diffuser. These have a V8 mid-engined. The twin turbo V8, I want to say. Wow, these are just incredible bits of machinery, aren't they? What amazing cars these are. Lovely pairing here. This is a BMW M4, but this is a GT3 spec M4, so faster than the GT4 spec M4s we saw earlier. 6-cylinder engine, inline 6 up front in these. Pretty sure they're turbocharged. Huge rear wing, as comes with most GT3 cars. Wow, that is one cool looking car, that. course, these are all the new generation of cars for the 2024 British GT season. This is a GT4 spec Mercedes. Now have a little look at the interior of this one. Yeah, it's a real treat to get up close with these beautiful racing cars here at Oulton Park today. In this garage is a stunning pair of Aston Martin GT3 cars. These are V8 Vantages. That's the single-seater drive past. Identical pair. Great looking livery as well, the British Racing Green. These are stunning cars. You can see this one's not actually on the ground, it's on its little stands there for manoeuvrability. These have just been moved in from their huge trailers here. So much going on in the paddock today. There's another Audi R8 V10 in there. That's another GT3 spec car just upstairs. One of these absolutely massive transporters. Not enough people appreciate these transporters. This is the Audi Sport Customer Racing, so it may actually just be like a rented race car. This is the Customer Racing. We've got Team Parker Racing here. I'm not exactly sure what they will be driving at this weekend. Let's see if we can find out. It is a Mercedes AMG GT4. You can see the door is off this Mercedes AMG GT4, which gives us a great look at the interior. Almost F1-like steering wheel. Wow, what an incredible piece of technology this is. Amazing to see, huge rear wing. Yeah, these are such incredible cars. I do love these GT spec cars. We've got a huge lineup of the single-seater cars out there, getting their tyres changed. Now here's an interesting pair. These look to be GT4 spec Aston Martins. This one's got no door as well. Not exactly sure which model of Aston Martin that is. It's another V8 Vantage, perhaps not as extreme with the wide body of the GT3, I think so. So a GT4 spec Aston Martin V8 Vantage competing in the British GT Championship. It's great to see the evolutions, you know, the differences of the same car but at different specs. There is actually another one of those GT4 V8 Vantages just peeking behind there. So fascinating to see all the setup, all the goings on behind the actual racing itself. There's the Aston Martins together, Forzetti Motorsport. Here we can see we're raising like some sort of communication or radio type pole for radioing to the drivers. One thing that doesn't get noticed enough is, you know, these transporters are absolutely incredible. There's a Ginetta over there as well, also with its bonnet off. Got some of the Ginetta Junior cars that'll be racing alongside the bigger stuff today. I believe these are classed technically as GT5 spec cars or something, a little twin cam 4-cylinder. And of course here is the Pirelli tyre setup, where teams can get some fresh new Pirelli tyres. Quite a substantial setup of the little Ginetta Juniors in this garage. These do provide great racing. I'm sure they're super fun to drive. Not huge power, but they do handle fantastically. And I think they're great looking little cars. This one's got a bit of a cracked windscreen on it. Some of the slightly bigger Ginettas now. You can see these ones are also suspended on their own jacks, so you can see the jacks come from underneath the car and lift itself up. Similar to our Pilot, in fact, that. These are the GT4 spec cars. These have a V6 in them, as that one is exposed there. We've got a garage being constructed here for some more Ginettas. Just over here we've got a couple of the smaller Ginetta G40s, there's a couple of the bigger V6 ones behind, and there's a forklift coming through. So much activity today. Here we have the Anglo-American Oil Company truck, Sunoco, don't know how to pronounce it really, Race Fuels. This is where all the cars get their racing fuel from. Loads of cool stickers in there. Some tyres being transported. Got another quite a significant setup of the Ginetta G40s here. These are really cool little cars. Close up look at the twin cam. That's a Z-Tech Ford twin cam engine in these. I didn't know that, so that's interesting. We've got another 6 Ginetta G40s, I think these are. Wow, there's going to be a full grid of these when they go racing. We're here for the testing, so hopefully we'll see some of these out along with the other GTs, but these will all be attacking the Cheshire Circuit on Saturday. I think it's really interesting to have a look around what goes into the setup of all these incredible racing cars. I know everyone's seen them on track, but not everyone gets to see them up and close like this. We've got a huge Ginetta. This is one of the V6 engine cars. You can see mounted really far back for the weight distribution. GT4 spec, this one. These also do have their own championship, but yeah, it's so cool to get up close to these incredible racing cars. See the huge racing brakes, the tyres, it's just so cool. And just like that, there is a Mercedes AMG motorsport truck, German registered, that had just rolled in. Wow, it's so cool to see all the stuff going on in the paddock here at Oulton Park. Really cool drawing of a GT3 spec Mercedes race car on the side. These transporters are incredible. So cool.
He's got to try and find somewhere to park though.
That is a good point. He's a bit late. Left-hand drive, of course, German registered. Yeah, I wonder why that one's going to have to squeeze in, and I wonder what it's got in the back. Probably a couple of GT3 spec Mercedes. Now we are in the GB3 and GB4 section. The session has just been red flagged, I noticed, but most of the cars are out on track at the moment, but there's a couple of them suspended on here. That's Ford actually, quite a setup, the Arden Motorsport team. These are GB3 spec cars, these ones, with their slick tyres and spare wings, of course, mounted on the front of their go-kart type things. Oh, what are these called? Quad bike, that's it. They look quite cool, especially when, if you take those two off and that one's just on the bottom, it looks like it's got a really cool front wing. But yeah, those are the spare wings and all the spare parts for these GB3 single-seater race cars. Some of the guys who are racing these look about, I think you only have to be 13 to race one of these, and a lot of the guys look 13 or younger. They're really sort of not old at all, and you think, is he the sort of guy to be ragging a car at 100 miles per hour around a circuit? But that's the way things seem to be these days. Here's the Rodin Motorsport setup. They're GB3 cars. A few spare wings there for the high-tech GP setup. They've got a trio of single-seaters. Here are some spare tyres. We can see we've got some used slick tyres here and some unused, probably wet tyres, wet for grooves in the wet. And as you can see, we've got these little things here. Now these are for the balancing the wheels so that the weight is all correct and doesn't go all wobbly or anything. We've also got some more used slicks. Doesn't look like this lot have many new slick tyres here. Plenty of wets though. You can see the slightly bigger diameter ones for the rear and the slightly narrower ones for the front tyres. The little Ginetta juniors are coming out for their test session now. Back in the paddock now. And let's see what else has turned up. Oh wow, there's a wonderful looking GT3 spec Mercedes AMG. Let's try and get a little peek at that. Wow, super cool wide body, huge V8 up front in that, incredible aero. Don't think I'll be able to get in, but that is so cool. What a car. Ah, in this garage is a pair of the new 2024 spec Ford Mustang GT4s. I haven't seen these ones before. This is a brand new car for the 2024 British GT season. These are the brand new Mustangs, the new GT4 Mustangs. Great to see a pairing of them as well. These do sound pretty cool. Naturally aspirated V8. One of the slower spec of cars been a GT4, but still these things are absolutely insanely quick. I don't understand this thing with not having doors on your race cars. What's all this about? We're seeing a lot of it today. You can see the stripped down interior, the Recaro bucket seats. Incredible things these. Here's another car I haven't seen yet. This is a McLaren Artura GT4 spec car. We've seen the 720S GT3 Evos, but this is the Artura, slightly different model. It's a GT4 car, also mid-engine V8. Probably not quite as powerful as the 720S. You can see there's a lot less aero, like the GT4s, but still very interesting to see because I haven't seen one of those before. Here's the Toyota GR setup with a GT4 spec Mark V Toyota Supra. This is a car I also haven't seen before. One thing I do notice with a lot of these GT cars today is a lot of yellow tinted headlights. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but yeah, great to see the new Mark V Supra in racing GT4 form with all the cool Toyota GR branding all around it. Among the transporters we have a Beach Dean branded transport, and I believe Beach Dean sponsor the likes of the V8 Vantage, Aston Martins, the GT3 cars. I think I've seen them on. Yeah, there really is just so much to see. Unfortunately the cars will not be running today. That'll be on tomorrow and we won't be here for tomorrow, but I do actually really love just having a look around all the setup that goes on to organise the actual racing events. Now imagine if someone smashed one of these up, the craze to fix it. Everyone's keeping these transporters so clean. You're constantly walking around, people are always keeping them absolutely immaculate. Everything is polished to perfection, you know. Really is impressive the amount of work that goes into this. All these little buggies as well. I mean, this looks like quite an expensive bit of kit, you know. Fancy wheels, fancy steering wheel. Oh, it just got sprayed by a load of water. You got these huge RVs. It's just huge money, absolutely insane. Incredible setup. At the end of the busy pit lane here at Oulton Park, we have an AMG GT3 Mercedes. This is also up on its little rollers for ease of transporting. Wow, this is a really great opportunity to have a close-up look at one of these. Let's have a look around the back. Got the huge diffuser at the back. What an incredible looking car that is. Huge rear wing. It's so great to get so up close to these. I've seen this car, or at least a similar car sponsored by this same company once here before. These are just incredible things, aren't they? Stunning car. The interior on the GT3 Merc. A lot of these cars are left-hand drive. I can't even begin to imagine putting this all back together if it was smashed up. Huge air vents, huge front splitter. What an incredible looking car. Absolutely insane bit of kit. Got the huge 6.3 I think AMG V8 up front. Just incredible to see these things get up so close to these incredible cars. All the carbon fibre around the front. You know, imagine how easily smashed that could be bouncing over grass. I'm sure the team has got spares. The carbon fibre is not cheap, and a Mercedes AMG GT3 car is certainly not cheap either. These things are just absolutely incredible. Got the side pipes poking out here. Just hiding behind her is yet another Mercedes AMG GT3. That looks really cool and advanced actually in that livery. I do like the look of that. Got all sorts of bits of tech and stuff going on, but that is one incredible looking car. Love the livery on that. Got the huge tyre stacked up here, I believe, peeking behind all these sort of very stealthily covered walls. And this one, there's a McLaren 720S GT3. You can just see it, just about there. Super busy here. We've got the wet tyres, which actually do look a little bit used, and some unused slicks. These look a bit used. It looks like it might rain later on, so these might have to be bolted on. Yeah, there it is. A tiny snapshot from McLaren 720S GT3. Some more constructions going on here. Now I believe that in there is an Aston Martin V8 Vantage GT3. I want to say it's so hard to get a look at. I think it is. We've got all the track data on for the GB3 cars, which are going around at the moment. It's great to see all the sort of behind the scenes. It really is a treat to see all of this today here at Oulton Park. They've also got the, if you just come over here, we've got the pit calling in thing. I don't exactly know what these signs are called, for the team Parker Racing, to call in the driver to stop in the pit lane, which is very cool. We've got the GT4 Merc in there. We had a look at that one earlier, and in there is what I think is an Aston Martin V8 Vantage, one of the Beach Dean sponsored cars. Here we are, just peeking in on one of the trailers. Looks like we've got some Aston Martin gear going on and some Aston Martin spare bodywork up there. One of the Ginetta GT Academy cars is in the Scrutineering bay. This is where cars are checked to make sure they're legal for their championships. There's some old scales in here and other things to make sure all the cars are legal. This is one of the V6 GT Academy cars, also GT4 spec. Just having a little bit of work done on it. Quite interesting to see one actually in just plain white livery, no sponsors. Looks like maybe some air or something going into it. Very cool. And over here we've got the old scales. These are old Avery scales, which are used to weigh the cars. I think that's a bit more of a sort of technical setup over there, but it is interesting that they do have the old setup still here. Collection of Ginettas here, a couple of V6s and a couple of the little Z-Tech twin cam 4-cylinder cars.
Oh, it does, it smells like it.
Starting to rain a little bit now. All the GB3 cars are getting pushed through. Must be tight in those cockpits. Really tight gap to squeeze through for these little GB3 cars. Got the quad bike behind as well with all the front wings. So cool to see all the setup here. It's a really unique, hopefully interesting video for you guys as well. So I do really find it so interesting, all the setup that goes into these racing cars. Wonder what this new transporter contains. It does say Lotus on the side. Now I wasn't aware if Lotus did any GT3 or GT4 racing, but maybe they do. I'm not exactly sure what this very lavish trailer contains. Plenty sponsors. These trucks are probably just as expensive as some of the cars. They're what I love. Got £1 million race cars and the little Mark III Fiesta. Great variety at Oulton Park. Yeah, I wonder what that hides. Didn't see this Ginetta GT Academy car out before. Quite a cool livery in this one. British racing green sort of with the gold stripe, sort of Lotus type livery, really, isn't it? That's really cool. That's a good looking car. Ginetta do make some good looking cars, and that's a great looking livery. I do really like the look of that. Yeah, super cool livery on this Ginetta GT4. Making way for the recovery truck here, which seems to be towing some form of little single seater behind it. Let's have a little look. Someone's had a bit of an excursion off into the gravel. It is a little GB3 car. This must be why the session was red flag. But I think, to be honest, we'll wrap up this video of all the goings on and the bits you don't see about the British GT Championship, all the setting up, all the preparation. I hope you liked this unique perspective on what goes on in the British GT. You know, everyone's seen them drive around the track, but not everyone gets to get up close to these cars when they've been off for excursions off the track like this one does seem to have. A bit of gravel scattered everywhere, so that'll have to be hoovered out like that Ginetta we saw at the start of the video. So please do let me know what you thought of this video. I feel like it was good fun recording it, and hopefully it was good fun watching it. So please make sure to subscribe. There's plenty of sort of British GT and racing car content at Oulton Park already on the channel, and I plan to keep going to this racetrack for many years to come. So please do subscribe, comment below, like the video, check out the channel homepage if you can't wait for Sunday's next new video. And I think for now I'll say thanks for watching and goodbye.